Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is look at how we can install plugins on our site. And I'll just go, to do this we go to plugins. And plugins are additional bits of code or software that just extend the functionality of our site. You can do anything from adding a support desk to adding social media, video plugins, just about anything that you can think of, there's a plugin for it. And there are some default plugins that would be installed, and just as there were default themes that were installed. And Akismet is just an anti-spam plugin. It's free for basic blog. So if you do allow comments on the site, this may be something that you'd be interested in. Hello Dolly is another plugin that comes pre-installed. Usually I don't use these, however, I have other options that I use for anti-spam. So, and it's a good practice that if you're not using plugins on your site, that you delete them, because they can conflict with each other and cause your site to do some crazy stuff or slow down the processing time of your site. So if you find lags, and of course there are security issues if you're not using a plugin, then you may not update it as regularly as you should because you're not using it. But even if the plugin is not being used, it still may present some vulnerability issues. So if you're not using a plugin, I just advise that you just go ahead and delete it, and all you have to do is just select and delete and apply. Okay? But to add a new plugin, it's really quite simple. It's very similar to adding themes, and you just select add new, and we will see a similar search button that will just allow you to search for the particular plugin. So like I said, there are so many things. If you need a Facebook plugin to help share your posts and pages, there are plugins for BuddyPress, which is a social media functionality that you can add to, for email, for images, for sidebars, shortcodes, YouTube. There's so many options. These are some of the more popular categories, so if you need something in particular, you just go ahead and say you want to have a dig plugin to help share your posts. Then you just type that in, and you will be presented with a list of plugins. The wonderful thing about this is that the plugins will have ratings beside them, which other WordPress users have used too. So these plugins with the darker stars, have received great reviews from other users. And all you'd have to do is you can check out, this is a brief description of the plugin, and all you have to do is just select install now and just confirm that you want to install the plugin, and it really is as simple as that, and the plugin will be installed. And depending on the plugin and what it does, then you'll be presented with some options. And this is of course after you activate the plugin, because you can have a plugin installed and not activated. So pardon me, if you just activate it, then usually there will be a link back to the plugin site, so you could find out more about the plugin And this will link back to either WordPress.org or individual website. And similar to the theme, then there'll be an option on the left-hand side for you to configure the plugin if there are settings. And sometimes these options may appear under the settings. So it really does vary depending on what the plugin does. Okay, so in the next video, I'll show you how to install a plugin from a zip file. In the last video, we looked at adding plugins to our site from the WordPress repository, and another way that we can add plugins is from a zip file. So if you have a premium plugin, or if you downloaded a plugin from anywhere other than the repository and you have it in a zip file, then you would just go plugins, add new, and go to upload. Choose file, and then you would just locate it wherever it is on your PC or your Mac. And I have this plugin on my desktop, WP Options, and I will just install. And then again, like I said, whenever the plugin is installed, you will have the option to activate, and then from there you can configure the additional settings if there are any. Right, so once that is done, the uploading of the plugin, you can just activate your plugin, and this particular plugin actually asks for a license key. But you get the gist of how it is to add a plugin. I'm not going to add my license key in this video, of course. And so, like I said, this would fall under the additional configuration or settings once you've activated the plugin. But that's just how simple it is. If you have a plugin from a zip folder, and based on the plugin, you'd know what to do next. So that's how you get it into your site.